Michael, many people will have heard or have had to deal with W-8 forms, but what are they?
The W-8 forms are a series of US tax self-certification forms, which are used to disclose your US tax and FATCA classification.
So what are they used for? What's the purpose of the form?
So the US has a series of withholding rules that apply to US payors of income, in particular in relation to foreign payees. So if a US entity is going to pay income to a non-US recipient, they need to know what is the appropriate withholding rate to apply. That information is included in the Form W-8.
So there are a number of these forms, starting with W-8 BEN. Who uses that?
So the Form W-8 BEN or BEN is used by a non-US individual to certify their US tax status. There are also Form W-8 BEN-E's, which the E stands for entity, which is used by non-US entities, and Form W-8 IMYs, which are used for foreign intermediaries.
So if I was an owner of a UK business and I received a request for a W-8 BEN-E, what would I have to do?
So the form includes some admin details such as the name and address of the business. It will also include the non-US tax identification number, but there's also a section in there that allows the UK business to determine whether any treaty benefits apply and if the standard withholding rate should be reduced.
So presumably, if I was a UK business receiving a request for one of these forms, I'm presumably doing something with either a US supplier or doing something in the United States.
Absolutely. The form itself is pretty overwhelming, but once you get into the detail, you realise only certain sections apply. The more important factor to consider is if you're being asked to complete one of these forms, it's likely that your business has already begun its expansion into the US.
And finally, who needs to sign the form? Who's responsible for it?
So the responsibility to complete the form sits with the directors and trustees of the non-US entity. The form should be completed by them and signed by them and provided to the US payer.